I mean, when we started Tesla, I should be clear, like, it was with an expectation of success of less than 10%. And the same for SpaceX.
Yeah.
And who in their right mind would think that a car company would have anything more than a 10% probability of success if you've never built a car in your entire life before? And there have
Software
been,
guys.
yeah, there's only at the time you know you had GM, Ford, and Chrysler, and but the history of car companies is like there've been like over 1,000 car company startups in the United States, and they're all dead.
Mm-hmm.
So and you know, with the 2008-2009 recession, GM and Chrysler also went bankrupt. So then that, you know, the chances of survival are extremely tiny. Only a fool would start a car company with electric car company or a car company whatsoever and think that the probability of success was high. So my initial thought for both Tesla and SpaceX was that I'd take half the money from PayPal, and I'd waste half of it on two ludicrous ventures, one being a car company and a rocket company, and that would be dumb, and I'd just lose it all, and that'd be, but I'd still have $90 million left, so whatever, you know, but in the end, I like I said, the companies were like children to me, so like it was like, so I gave the companies all the money that I had, and then I would have had no money at all if Tesla and SpaceX had not survived. I would have owed a lot of money and been personally bankrupt if Tesla and SpaceX had not survived.
That hadn't happened, we still wouldn't have electric vehicles.
Yeah,
like
I think so. Like Tesla's. I mean, if you like, what is Tesla's fundamental value? It is to serve as an accelerant to sustainable energy. And if you say like, but for Tesla, what would the world be like? In ways that, like, let's say you're looking at this from, you know, the macroeconomic God standpoint, or like a civilization, or, you know, The Sims or something, you know, like what's the difference here? The difference between Tesla and not Tesla is how many years is sustainable energy accelerated.
Mm.
That is the fundamental good of Tesla.
Yeah.
And then there's also the autonomy thing, which is, I think could also be very, very significant. It will be very significant. But I'd say, like, in the absence of there being a fundamental technology discontinuity in the form of electrification and autonomy, both of them together, I think a new car company cannot succeed. So now I'll tell you, like, actually the real reason that people should have been shorting Tesla, and perhaps why some of them were shorting Tesla, and the real reason that car companies, new car companies cannot succeed, or why it's very hard for them to succeed. And this was first told to me by this automotive investor when I was at Axel Springer headquarters getting a Golden Steering Wheel award, and this guy was apparently like the best automotive investor in the world, you know, comes up to me and like he's like, "Ha, I know why you're going to fail." I'm like, "Well, please tell me." I can think of several reasons.
Tell me when I don't know.
Yes, and he said he said that the car companies don't make any money on the new car sales. They make all of their money selling parts to cars to the existing fleet. Mm-hmm. So when the warranty runs out, like the life of a car before it hits the junkyard might be 20 years. Warranty is going to typically run out after 4 years, and there's a bunch of stuff that's not covered under warranty. So if you've got a steady state fleet, it means that 80% of your fleet is not under warranty. Mm. So you can sell high margin parts, replacement parts for the existing fleet, mm-hmm. and you can sell your new cars at effectively zero margin. Mm. It's like a razors and blades thing.
Yeah.
So you sell the razor for zero margin,
yep.
and you sell the blades at high margin. Mm. So then this creates a massive barrier to entry for any new car company because you have no existing fleet. So the only way for a new car company to succeed is that does not have an existing fleet is to charge a lot more for your car than what others are paying, than competitors. And in order to charge a lot more, have people actually buy it, the product must be so compelling that people are willing to pay the premium above the alternative cars from the incumbent car makers. This is the only way. And I think without both electrification and autonomy, this does not succeed. So that is the only way to do it. You have to win on autonomy, and you have to win on electrification, and you have to make the product so compelling that it is worth paying paying the premium relative to the incumbent competitors. This is a very big deal.
Yeah.
Very, very big deal. So, yeah.
I'm exactly that customer, by the way. I first test drove a Tesla in 2015. The acceleration and all that was cool. The electric was cool. But when I tapped the stick for Autopilot 1.0 and it locked on the on the road like rails, I went, holy shit, the future's here. And went from a $4,000 car to, at the time, a fully loaded Model S, just opposite end of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
That exact angle was it. And that's gotten so many people that way.
Yeah.
No Autopilot, I probably still wouldn't be a Tesla owner.
Yeah.
Why do you
Exactly.
think-
And the thing that actually got me, because we're going to get a lot of flack for like autopilot deaths and stuff.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that, yeah, it's like no amount of statistics can convince people otherwise. They're like,
One time.
yeah. But the thing that actually got me to really get a move on with autopilot was that this anecdote illustrates several things, by the way. And I think this might have been like 2014 or something like that. A Model S owner in the Bay Area fell asleep while driving his Model S and ran over a cyclist and killed the cyclist. Now, if there had been even basic lane following, that cyclist would still be alive. So I was like, man, if anything illustrates the importance of autopilot, it's this case here where that innocent cyclist would still be alive if that guy that fell asleep had autopilot or any kind of like lane following, even basic lane following. The car would not have veered off the road and killed the cyclist. Mm-hmm. So I was like, we got to get a move on here. This is a real safety issue. So that's part of what really encouraged me to like, we need to go make this happen as quickly as possible. But there's more to the story. The guy that ran over the cyclist did not internalize responsibility for himself. He said that the problem was, he blamed it on Tesla and said he fell asleep because of the new car smell. Awesome. I'm not making this up. You can literally search the court records. And he got a lawyer, amazingly, got a lawyer to represent him and file a lawsuit against Tesla saying it's not his fault he ran over the cyclist. It's because of the new car smell that put him to sleep. Now, obviously, when this got before the judge is like, that's ridiculous, case dismissed. But this just gives you some sense of both the importance of autopilot and generally people's unwillingness to internalize responsibility.
Car smells.
Yes.
You should pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah. I mean, he actually had the
Price
nerve
tag goes
to
up.
engage a lawyer and file a lawsuit. And you're like, wow,
That's
it's in the court records.
yeah.
And you're like, okay, dude, maybe it's not. Maybe it's you. The judge like, it's you. Okay. Take responsibility for your actions. So, anyway, so that's why I think like unless some new car company is able to solve autonomy and electrification and make a product that's extremely compelling and reach volume production where with a cost of goods where the cost of the car is low enough that you can charge a price where you don't exceed the affordability limit of people. Like a number of times I've had this conversation with like rich investors on Wall Street. Is crazy because there are two factors at play. One is value for money. The other is fundamental affordability. So these things are often conflated by if somebody has tens of millions of dollars, lives in Wall Street and whatever, they don't understand that they just think about value for money. They don't think about affordability. Like all cars are affordable. If someone just literally does not have enough money in the bank account, they cannot buy the car, even if you rail desirability to infinite. Like we'll just turn the desirability knob. This thing, will transform into a jet and fly you to a private island that it will create by itself. You can make it so desirable that you can just make desirability infinite. But if it costs more than people can afford, they can't buy it no matter how great it is. And so that affordability threshold is very, very important. So it must both be good value for money and be affordable with in order to achieve the unit volumes. And where car companies can get kind of painted into the corner of doom is if the cost of the car is so high that they have to raise the price of the car to the point where the price of the car is, and Rivian I think has this problem, so that they either need to fix it or they're in deep trouble. They raise the price to the point where only a very small number of people can afford the car, no matter how desirable it is. Then at that point, if you cannot achieve a unit volume that covers your fixed costs, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rivian needs, my advice to Rivian would be to cut costs immediately across the board dramatically, or they're doomed.